Everybody enjoys a modern game that is able to reach back into their childhood joys, and Project Nimbus is certainly no exception to that. Keep in mind that Project Nimbus, developed by Game Crafter Team and published by KISS Ltd, is still in development, and this early access preview reflects the unfinished build released to date by the developers. The world's surface has been devastated in the last Great War, and humanity has fled to their sky cities, at least the privileged and lucky ones. With peace achieved only by complete destruction of Earth's surface, faction and rebel skirmishes are an everyday occurrence. To do battle with these constant threats, Project Nimbus is developed to create Mirai. You are the ace pilot to have the honor of commanding Mirai, the most advanced battle frame ever dreamed of. With an organic Mirai as your co-pilot, you must defend the nation's sky cities and defeat all threats to humanity from factions and rebels alike. With fun backstories and interesting characters and twists, despite the fact there is only one act currently released, Project Nimbus is an entertaining story adventure. After climbing into your battle frame, the first thing you notice is its obvious influence from classic anime stories. This is done in a tasteful way and does not detract from the game at all. In fact, it encourages the game further. Being able to relate to aspects of the ship's origin and expect its response and agility to match your imagination, you aren't left wanting as your high-speed battle frame launches into battle in all its glory. The ship is easily piloted with intuitive WASD and the optional EC for lift and dive controls, and is incredibly responsive to piloting and maneuvering. The balance of maneuvering and attacking is also well developed, relying heavily on your skills as a pilot, but also being forgiving if you don't execute your maneuver correctly. Perfect example is performing a strafing attack run and accidentally broadsiding a skyscraper during your pass. Your battle frame takes no damage and instead is auto-piloted around the obstacle itself, giving you freedom to continue your attack as if your dodge was entirely planned. The graphics and textures themselves are well thought out, giving detail and heavy thought behind textures you'd see up close, as well as general color and feel of elements you would only see from in-game 10,000 feet in the air. The graphics are also a smooth blend of surreal textures and anime block colors, again paying tribute to its origins and genre of game. Folded into each level almost seamlessly are the sounds of combat and the mood music to match. Hearing the missile's target lock tick, railguns pound, and your afterburners roar is such a childhood delight that you have to allow yourself a moment of distraction to listen to your missiles launch en masse at their targets. Now, in the case of any early access game, there are some bugs and changes that need to be made. In Project Nimbus's case, however, there are only 3 minor issues within the game. First, the difficulty level not only pushes your skills to the limit when dogfighting with multiple squads of battle frames, but in some situations, namely the end boss of Act 1, is virtually impossible to make it through the desired objective, causing you to play and replay the level. With the exception of the boss, however, there is always a way to complete the mission requirements. Second, when targeting opponents for missile or drone lock, the camera zooms several steps towards the enemy, following their movements completely, which makes piloting a little bit more challenging. The visual lock isn't so much of an issue as the zoom feature is, which could be fixed by zooming less than its current amount. And finally, some of the in-game voice acting overlay will overlap with either the user interface or other voice acting, causing a jumble of noise with multiple people talking at once.
So look at that. Any weakness, Lieutenant?
But past these few and minor bugs, Project Nimbus stays true to the classic mech-style, strategy, third-person, dogfighting game you'd imagine while watching the Gundam series. With Acts 2 through 4 still in production, and the quality and attention that has gone into this game's development, Project Nimbus will be a hit action-adventure game upon its completion. Check out the Steam page for the latest news and early access preview.